I've used the example before. Steve talked it about a little bit. We talked about Ukraine for the last 3 years. And to this day, Mitch McConnell will still tell you that Ukraine is the #1 priority for Republicans across the country. And I can assure you it is not. Because just being in this room alone tonight, I have spoken to more real Republicans than Mitch McConnell has in his 772-year tenure in the United States Senate. But it's not just in this room. For the last 3 years, since the war started, I have spoken in front of over 150,000 people. Not a huge room like this. Sometimes it's 300 people here, 700 people there, 5,000 people there. I have asked the question, is it a top 3 or top 10 issue in every one of those speeches I've given to every person in that room. And out of 150,000 people over 2.5, 3 years, exactly 4 people raised their hands that it was a top 10, possibly top 10 issue for them. No one was top 3. First gentleman, sir, it's top 10 issue what? Well, I am from the Kiev, Ukraine. I was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna give you a pass. Next guy misunderstood the question. He thought it was a double negative, so he was actually on our side. Next guy worked at Raytheon. So I was like, okay, well, that's job security, of course. And the other guy was like, well, I worked there for like 15 years, so I'm like a 10.5. So basically zero Americans actually thought that it was a top 10 issue. And yet, Senate Republicans were still trying to jam that down our throats to the tune of $250 billion. And by the way, that doesn't include the other $260 billion that the Pentagon lost. Just lost it. The same people, the same government that will audit you for a $601 Venmo account transfer can magically lose $250 billion. It's like, no problem. Right? The Pentagon will fail 7 audits, doesn't matter. That ends. That ends now. But again, while it's easy to sit back and celebrate some of these wins, we can never stop. Don't get lax.